Choices in isolation and other things drama school won't tell you. Chapter 4. The Self-Tape Farce. The self-tape was supposed to be the great democratiser. It would eliminate the need for expensive trips to London, allow actors from all over the country to be considered for roles, and level the playing field. In reality, it has become another stage where inequality is performed and enforced. Officially, the rules are clear. The Casting Directors Guild, the CDG, and Spotlight offer guidelines. Use a plain background, have good lighting, avoid distractions, state your name clearly, and follow the specific instructions for each audition and, for fuck's sake, don't show desperation. Unofficially, these rules are applied selectively. Established actors, particularly those with powerful agents, often ignore them. They use texture backgrounds, mood lighting, and skip the ident altogether. Taping with a well-known actor one day, I reminded them the breakdown stated they needed to record an ident. They looked at me and said, "An ident? Fuck that, I'm not doing an ident. Do you do idents?" It wasn't rebellion, it was privilege. Their reputation preceded them. The rules were for everyone else. This creates a two-tier system. Tier 1, the pre-approved. They can break the rules because their tape will be watched regardless. Their individuality is seen as just that, individuality. Tier 2, the unknown. They must follow every rule perfectly. Their tape is one of hundreds. Any deviation, a busy background, a shadow, a missing ident, is an easy excuse for a time-poor casting director to move on, if they even watch it. The black hole of speculation. But the injustice runs deeper than a two-tier rulebook. The entire process is shrouded in a profound and demoralising lack of transparency. We have no idea if our tapes are even watched. How could we? Casting offices are often too overwhelmed to send a simple, "No thank you," for an audition we poured hours into. So how would we ever know if our file was even opened? There have been high-profile cases where actors discovered they'd taped for projects that the casting director themselves didn't even know about. Their agents had submitted them blindly to a production's general inbox. When you combine this chaotic, unaccountable system with the data we've already seen, the clear patterns showing where the jobs consistently go, a grim conclusion is inescapable. For the majority of actors, the self-tape is often just unpaid labour, a digital prayer. This leads to the most corrosive part of the process, the isolation, hence the title of this book. I receive a breakdown for the usual size part I'm auditioned for, make creative choices in a vacuum, often just me and a reading partner in a bedroom, record, submit, and then hear nothing. The complete lack of direction is a massive issue. Are we to believe that if we don't instinctively make the right decision entirely on our own, we are incapable of doing the job? It's a nonsense. Acting is collaborative. It thrives on direction. Instead of collaboration, we are left in speculation corner, endlessly ruminating. Should I have played it angrier? Was that pause too long? It's a deeply depressing and creatively stifling place to be in. Gone are the days going into a room, speaking with the casting director, discussing the scene and the character's journey, even if it's for a small part, and leave knowing you did your best within a shared understanding. You might not get the job, but you were seen. You had a chance to act. Share your choices, but once again, for those at the back, be directed. It's such a huge missing part of the process. The self-tape hasn't democratised casting. It has industrialised it. It allows casting offices to process enormous volumes of actors while ultimately still relying on those private lists for the final decisions. It has become a filter, not a door opener. Is that unfair to say? Is that wrong? Okay, let's say it is. Why then, after all the tapes, do they still cast from the same lists? I'll leave that with you to think about. Worse, it has placed the entire financial and logistical burden of the first round of auditions onto the actor. The cost of equipment, time, and self-taping space is now a mandatory overhead for every professional, further disadvantaging those without means. Pushing back on the easier lie. We are told the self-tape system is better because it's easier and free. But this is a lie built on a producer's balance sheet, not an actor's reality. Firstly, it's not free. It costs us our time, our mental energy, and our money for equipment and space. Secondly, we have no confirmation our work is even seen. And thirdly, unless you're with a powerhouse agent, you're not auditioning all the time anyway. Each tape carries the weight of a rare opportunity, so I think it's more important to be in the room. That's not privilege, by the way. I know it's difficult financially, and I'll absolutely get into that clusterfuck later in the book. In short, it is a shambles that we're the only people not being paid in an audition, whether in the room or not. Wouldn't you rather the production took a small financial hit for a face-to-face meeting, knowing your audition was genuinely seen and you were given a chance to be directed? The sting of not getting a job is far more palatable when you know you collaborated, interpreted feedback, and truly gave it your best shot according to a shared vision. The current system offers no such consolation. Why we've accepted it for so long is insanity. The self-tape regime is easier for them, not for us in the long run. Especially when you have, for example, 2 part-time jobs, childcare, and so many overdue bills. It's a cost-cutting measure that devalues our craft and our time. We need to start pushing back and demanding a return to more collaborative, transparent practices. Accepting this as the new normal is a race to the bottom. The self-tape is a farce, not because it doesn't work, but because it pretends to be fair while reinforcing the very hierarchies it was supposed to break down. It isolates us, burdens us, and leaves us guessing in the dark, all while maintaining the same closed shop at the top. The workshop scam and the actor's delusion. Beyond the self-tape, another entire economy has been built on the desperation of the excluded. The paid casting workshop. Fuck me. On top of every other expenditure, we are encouraged to pay casting directors for seminars and workshops that promise inside knowledge on how to shine in an audition. They repackage the same arbitrary rules we've already discussed, the same rules that don't apply to their pre-approved lists, and sell them back to us as a secret key to the kingdom. Let's be clear, this is a scheme. It is a cattle market for the hopeful designed to line the pockets of gatekeepers. The vast majority of actors in those rooms are there for one reason. They aren't being seen for anything other than day player parts. It is a hope tax levied on the very people the system is designed to exclude. Stop going to these workshops. Stop paying casting directors to gaslight you. They are not there to discover you. They are there to monetize your obscurity. The industry of advice is a labyrinth of contradiction. You will be told that casting directors don't want to see desperate actors, so you must be aloof. You will hear the condescending analogy, why shop at Lidl when you can shop at Harrods, when asked about agencies. Just to break that down, they were saying Lidl is bargain basement and Harrods is prime goods, comparing these shops to agencies. Everyone knows, though, those who shop at Harrods just have the piss taken out of them, while Lidl shoppers find amazing products. Christmas hamper, anyone? I rest my case. The casting workshop is a gaslighting exercise that individualises a systemic failure. That Lidl quote is a legit comment by a very well-known casting director at the only workshop I ever attended. I think about that comment all the time. Here is the only advice you need, stripped of all the monetised nonsense. Be on time, know your lines, and believe what you're doing. The rest is noise designed to make you feel like you're not trying hard enough, or to help mystify acting. And what of the actors who are inside the fortress? There exists a surreal, almost poignant disconnect. The amount of times I've been asked by famous, well-meaning friends, "Are you getting seen for such and such?" is staggering. They genuinely seem to believe we are all swimming in the same ocean, merely waiting for our respective boats to come in. Surely they must know they are only up against a handful of people from 3 or 4 agencies, or is the cognitive dissonance too great? Perhaps they have to believe in a level playing field to justify their own success within a system that is fundamentally biased towards their representation. It's a necessary fiction for their own mental survival? I think so. They can't admit this though, right? You will also hear the well-intentioned but crushing refrain from these same friends when they're casting for a project you only know about because you read in for them. Loads of parts in this for you, man. You should get your agent onto this. They say it with a genuine excitement for you. They cannot conceive that your agent has no access to that room, that the lots of parts were allocated on a private list before the breakdown even went out. They live in a different industry, one with the same name, but entirely different rules. Bless them.